Grok, Sammy, Sylvester, and Tricks. The four of you wake up on the side of a gravel road. You can't quite remember how you got there, but all you know is that the last thing you remember was standing next to the professor as he threw the orb and the bright light flashed. And then you woke up here. Grok, you wake up first, and you notice the area that you are in, there's no color. The entire area is drained of color save for yourself and the other members of your party.
So I'm in color. And they're all in
Yes.
color. Okay.
Yes. Sammy comes to, Sylvester, and then Tricks, you all come to and stand up when you hear the sound of a wagon approaching, coming down the cobble street. And the driver pulls on the reins. And David, do you want to describe your character for us?
Yeah, sure. So I am I'm probably mid-30s, early 30s human. I'm driving an old hearse that's been repurposed into what is kind of a portable workshop of sorts. I've got a pretty thick mustache and some sideburns like down into chops. I've got a horse named Baxter who's kind of pulling the hearse for me. Pretty Victorian era dress with a gauntlet on my left arm.
All right. So this carriage pulls up in front of you. The driver pulls on the reins. And what do you say? Who wants to speak up first?
I say, "Whoa, Baxter," and I just kind of look over at these people, these creatures on the side of the road, and I say, "Well, it's been miles. Are you okay? I mean, it's been miles since I've seen another living soul out here."
What?
What happened?
What?
Where are we?
What's
What
going
happened?
on?
What?
I'd say you're about, I'd say you're about a mile or two from Grimmsville.
Grimsville.
Grimsville.
Yeah, no, I mean, I could offer you a ride if you need a ride.
We should be just outside King Georgetown.
Did we die? Or is this hell?
Oh, I know. I'm familiar with King Georgetown, and I can very faithfully tell you that you are far, far from King Georgetown. In fact, you're about 2 miles out of Grimmsville. I'm on my way to Grimm's Manor now. I could absolutely give you a ride if you want to hop in, and I could take you as far as Grimm Manor if you like.
Oh.
Grimm Manor.
And Grok is just kind of like rubbing his head, trying to figure out what the heck is going on.
Grok, you start to rub your head, and you realize that everything that happened back at the aquatic point, the scars, the damage, the blood is still on you. You reach up and touch your head, and there you have blood on your hands. Whether it's yours or someone else's, you're not quite sure, but you have blood on your hands.
Okay.
So my question is to the four of you, are you going to accept this stranger's ride?
Oh yeah, Sammy's in.
Of course Sammy would be into jumping into the back of a wagon. That's what she does.
No, this isn't right. We should be in the woods. The professor was there. He was gonna bring back Robin.
Did any of you remember anything else?
I don't.
He tossed it and it went white, and
All I can say is about a quarter mile down the road back behind me, I did hear cracks, and then I heard a big explosion, and in the distance I saw what looked like a flare of light, and when I rode upon it, that's when I found the four of you.
I wonder if this was some kind of side effect of the time bomb.
oh, like we were too close?
I don't know.
Didn't he say he wanted us to go to Grimsville?
He did, yeah.
Did he send us here instead of helping?
I don't know. Did we get the ingredients we needed?
Sylvester hops up in the wagon sadly.
All right. Well, we've got one taker, I suppose.
Okay, sure. Let's go.
Rock, can you help me in?
Yeah, sure. Come on.
And he'll like hold down his hand to give Trix a lift. Quick question, out of character, because I don't remember. What did the professor say his son's name was?
Agustus Richman.
Look, you wouldn't happen to know an Agustus Richman, would you?
Yes, I mean, it's funny you say that. My name is Agustus Richman.
So you're the son of the professor.
Well, I reach out my hand to shake Grak's hand, and I say, Ulysses Rupert Agustus Richman. It's nice to meet you. So you know my father then, Ulysses B. Richman.
Yes, he was gonna send us your way to help you with the problem you wrote to him about or something like that.
Well, I mean, I haven't written a letter to my father in quite some time. I can assure you of that. And if I had, I can assure you that it wasn't asking for any sort of help. It wasn't any sort of distress letter as much as more of a updating him on some really exciting things that have happened in my life with my card, as well as my fiance that I'm going to visit now.
I see.
Trix just kind of looks at the others.
And what was your name again, Mr.?
Sorry, I'm Grak. You can call me Grak.
All right, Mr. Grak. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Grak. I've been studying, and for years I've been traveling around on this hearse that I found with Baxter here, and I've been riding around and just fixing things up. This is almost a portable workshop of sorts. I'm quite the handyman, like my father, and
I see.
Yeah, I met a beautiful woman, and that's where I'm headed now. She lives at Grimm Manor, and I'm sure she would be happy to put the four of you up for the night and get you on your way and out of this muggy, rainy weather we're having out here.
A long rest would be nice.
Oh, indeed.
Yeah.
So the four of you are in the back of the wagon. Grak, you jump up to the front seat with Agustus, and you five start heading to Grimm Manor.
While we've got some time on the way, Grak would like to say something to the party if he has a chance.
Okay, so the four of you are in this horse-drawn carriage. Grak, if you have something to say to your party, you can go ahead and...
So Grak's kind of sitting there in silence for a minute, trying to figure out what to say and how to say it. And eventually he kind of speaks up and he's like,
Look, Sylvester, I've been thinking, and I just want to say I'm sorry. I know you've done some right stupid things, but you're a valuable part of this group. The truth is, for all my muscle, we never would have escaped History Island or the clutches of Diablo without you and your magics. That goes for all of you, Sammy and Tricks too. My captain reminded me that I need to be more appreciative of my crew, and well, now I reckon that's you lot. I know I'm not the quickest person to trust a stranger, but as far as I'm concerned, you've more than proven yourselves capable, and I'd do better to remember that. Whether we like it or not, Diablo's looking for us, and he's not going to stop until we're either all dead or back in a cell on History Island. So we gotta stick together. We gotta find a way to end this ourselves.
How hard did you hit your head?
Look, don't ruin the moment, okay? I'm trying to be nice to you. So what do you say? Can you forgive a stubborn old pirate?
All right.
I'm not convinced, but I'll take it.
Sorry, hold on. Oh, I can forgive you. Oh, my
Okay,
God.
all right,
This is
you know
so
what?
good. My heart
You know
is
what?
full.
Okay, the moment's over.
you know
Never
what?
mind. Let's just keep
okay.
moving.
A little emotionally raw. I apologize.
So the five of you are on your way to Grimsville, and Augustus turns to all four of you, and he says, Grimsville is about half a mile at this point down the road.
Yeah, I kind of want to turn towards Grak and ask him, have you heard the tales of Captain Grimm, Mr. Grak?
Oh, you mean Captain Bartholomew Gideon Grinning Grimm? Yeah, I've heard of it. I don't much believe in ghost stories myself, though.
Well, if you'll indulge me, and for the rest of you who might not know the story, Captain Bartholomew Gideon Grinning Grimm, known under Pirates' Code as Grinning Gideon Grimm for the sadistic way he laughed and chuckled while disposing of his victims. He was later pardoned as a man and built the manor we're actually headed towards. After years of pillaging, he received a king's pardon solely based on the riches he had acquired, as well as the fact that he swore he was a changed man. You see, he made a promise to King George that no one would know of his wicked past. He convinced the king he had made peace with the demons that haunted him, and maybe he had. Soon he established Grimsville here, and as well as Grimm's Manor, which you know we're headed toward, and he lived comfortably for years, married, and retired to a life of peace. That is, until, as the tale goes, his wife found through an anonymous letter that her loving husband Bartholomew was, in fact, the dreaded Grinning Gideon Grimm, and she distanced herself. She began staying in separate rooms, and day after day their love grew further and further apart. Day after day, the faint whispers of Grimm, his past, they began to call to him, each day growing louder, from whispers to shrieks to shouts that could make your blood run cold. And he was driven to madness at the thought of his loving wife leaving, and the screams of his long-suppressed demons grew louder as well. And you see, Grimm, he threw his wife down his water well, feeling it was the only way to keep her from escaping, to keep her from leaving Grimm Manor. If he couldn't keep her in the flesh, he would bound her in the spirit, and taking up residence in his mind like all the other lives he had taken, she did. But it didn't silence the screams of his ghosts. He ended his own life in the portrait chamber of his own haunted mansion, releasing his demons to dwell among the halls of his home. You see, crimes of passion, of love, only make hauntings grow louder. In the years following, death seemed to find its way to the manor and to all of its inhabitants. Ballroom dancers, duelists, top-tier musicians and opera singers, hitchhikers, bricklayers, ostracized psychics, even a quintet, if you can believe that. They all tried to find refuge here. They all failed. All passed without receiving the satisfaction of an afterlife, doomed to walk the halls forevermore. Mysteriously swallowed up by the walls and floorboards of the mansion, it seems. But when the crypt doors creak and the tombstones quake, spooks come out for a swinging wake, and creepy creeps with eerie eyes start to shriek and terrorize. That's when Grimm's grinning ghosts come out to socialize.
We're from worlds unknown, our stories untold. Roll away the dice, we'll vanquish the darkness, see the fear in its eyes. No matter the danger from us to send, don't be afraid, just take my hand. Don't be afraid, the prophecy is near. We hold the keys, we make our stand. In this together, just take my hand. Unlocking the magic in distant lands, we're stronger together. I'm here, my friend. Unlocking the magic. Just take my hand. We hold the keys to the kingdom.
That's poetic and all, but you're telling us that this Captain Bartholomew's a real person.
Well, yes, of course, he was a real person, but I mean, I would love to be able to assure you that the house is not haunted, but, I haven't actually visited the house, and, well, you see, my fiance Constance, she lives there, and, I'm going to visit her, and, this will be my first visit as well as yours, yes, of course.
So you're telling me we're to be staying at this haunted mansion?
Well, I, you know, like you said, they're all just ghost stories, right? Campfire stories, if you will.
Right.
Spooky stories to tell in the dark. But I mean, I just as much as you can't validate any sort of truth to any sort of haunted mansion.
Yeah, I'm sure this is gonna go just great.
Oh, me too, of course, of course. You'll love Constance, trust me. She's a lovely woman.
Sylvester raises his hand.
Yes, and what was your name back there?
Hi, Sylvester.
Sylvester.
You know, we were all kind of in a depressed place like literally 15 seconds ago, and then that story kind of sucked.
Well, I do apologize, Mr. Sylvester. I'm not trying to bum you out, my friend. I just thought that it'd be fun to
No,
you
it's
know,
not
tell
your
the
fault.
story of the history, as it were, of this manor. But I assure you, you know, no one of any sort of evil will lives there now. And as far as I'm concerned, I haven't seen a single ghost, or heard of one, rather.
But your fiance lives there.
She does.
Oh, let the games begin.
So the five of you continue down this gravel road. Not too much longer now. You, on your left, as you're coming down this gravel road, you see through a break in the trees a 4-story mansion, or manor, if you will, and the carriage continues to roll and gets up to the front gates. And on the front gates, it has a large G and an M on the front gate, but it's open. And you continue, and Augustus parks his carriage on the loop. And what are you guys doing?
This is huge.
Holy cow, I think I see one of my cousins up there.
Really?
That was good. That was really good.
Augustus hops out and just kind of walks up to Baxter and kind of starts petting him, feeds him like an apple, and is just kind of like shushing him. Brushes his mane, and then kind of walks around in front of Baxter towards the front doors of the mansion. I don't know if everyone else is following behind me, but I think that's what Augustus is doing.
Yeah, Grak is extremely confused as to what they're really doing there anyway in the first place, and so he's just kind of going along with it for now. So he's going to follow Augustus.
This is our Scare B&B.
That's very good. That was a very good one.
Very good.
So you guys start walking west around the outskirts of this building. There's a small drive that goes up to the left, and you get about halfway down this drive, and you, Augustus, since you're in the front of this pack, you're kind of leading them toward the mansion. You see very faintly, directly in front of you, something run by from left to right, kind of through from the trees on the left side into this small corridor.
Mm-hmm.
You can't quite make out what it is.
I think that Augustus is, he's pretty intuitive, so I think I'm just gonna kind of check that out. Was it like a bigger, like human sized, or was it bigger, or was it smaller? Like, what was the size of it, I guess? Cause the size of it really is what's going to make me decide whether I want to actually look into it or not. Cause if it was like a cat sized, then I might not be as intrigued.
No, not quite. It was about 5 feet tall, if you had to guess, moving very quickly from left to right.
I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna just kind of not like go out of my way, but I'm definitely gonna kind of take a peek and see what I see.
So you guys are continuing west down this path, and you're going down the walkway. And so Augustus, you start slowly walking toward, and you look around this corner, and you come around the corner, and you see a man that is about 5'5", wearing a brown jacket, blue jeans. He has a very skinny dog next to him, and he's holding a lantern, and it's about 4 o'clock right now, and so it's not even nighttime, but he's holding this lantern. He's just shaking. He says,
What y'all doing here?
My God.
I'm sorry, sir.
Hey, let me. You
Ain't need to be around the manor, okay?
Oh, sir.
What are you doing here?
Well, I promise you, I assure you, we are not trespassing. I'm actually looking for Constance. You see,
You looking for you looking for Constance?
Yes, sir. I'm looking for Constance.
Why you looking for Constance?
Well, you see, we recently were engaged, and I was coming. Yes, yes. I reach out my hand to this guy, and I try to like shake his hand.
And he looks at your hand, but then he for just a moment kind of recoils and looks at you, and he slowly reaches out his hand and he says, "Nice to meet you. My name Horace."
Oh, well, it's good to meet you, Horace. And I kind of shake his hand, and then as I let go of his hand, I wipe my hand kind of on my pants really discreetly, like to get all this, like I'm assuming dirt that's on his hands off.
Are we anywhere nearby?
Okay. I was about to say,
you guys are right there with him.
Excuse me.
Yeah, you guys are right there with him.
You owe me 2 coins.
I owe you what?
You owe me 2 gold coins.
Okay. Let me. I don't know you. I don't know where you come from, but I don't even know who you is. You come over here to my manor, and you say I owe you 2 gold. I don't know you 2 gold. You owe me 5 gold for being in my manor. But I'm gonna let it slide because this young man over
here.
here.
Doing this again. Come on.
This young man over here.
I'm gonna turn to Sammy and say, "Do you know this man?"
I've met him once, and he stole 2 gold coins.
I turn back to Horace and I say, "Is that true, Mr. Horace? Did you steal money from this genie?"
I never met the genie before.
The
genie. Hey, genie.
Your name is Genie as well.
Genie. My name ain't Genie. My brother named Genie.
You remember your fast time deal?
Oh, I don't got no fast time deal, ma'am.
It looks like we found Ginny's brother.
My name is Horace Fusselbottom. Nice to meet you.
Look, how many?
He reaches out his hand.
How many siblings do you have, Horace?
How many siblings do I have?
How many?
I got that's how many siblings I got.
Great, perfect. That's just
my name Horace.
That's exactly
my name
what
Horace
we needed is more
Fusselbottom.
Jennies. Great.
My name is not Jenny. My name is Horace Fusselbottom.
It's not.
And this is my dog right here. And he
gestures down to his right, and there's a small, very, very skinny, like you can see its bones through its skin, brown dog. And the dog is just standing there staring up at you guys with its tongue hanging out. And Horace says,
my dog, him named Skinny. Skinny said hi to the people.
And the dog just kind of blankly, no expression, tongue hanging out the side, just stares. And as the dog's staring at you, one of his eyes kind of goes the other way.
Oh my!
You know, dogs eat food, right? They need food. That's part of a.
Yeah, the dog eat food.
Are you?
Are you?
Am I,
what is you anyway? You some kind of garden dog? What is you?
That is a slur. I'll have you know.
Yeah.
It's not a slur.
You're slurring your
words. I ain't slurring nothing. I ain't not slurring my words.
Yeah,
my words say,
Augustus is going to try to. Augustus is personally going to try to intervene with Horace, and he kind of like gently pulls him aside and says, "No, these are my friends, Mr. Horace, and I'm sure Constance would be fine with us just giving them some bedding for the evening and letting them be on their way after a good breakfast and maybe even supper tonight. So if you don't mind allowing us in the house or possibly calling Constance, I'm sure she could clear anything up that might be ailing you and allowing us to enter the manor at this point."
He says,
"Okay, how about this? You all follow old Horace. And I'll take you up to the manor, okay? We're going to check with Miss Connie, and we're going to see, okay?"
What he's standing in is kind of a pergola that goes around, and it's a kind of a sloped ramp that goes up into the main level of this mansion. So you can see the kind of the curvature on the left side, and he leads you over to this large staircase that's leading up to the front door. He walks over to the front door, and he knocks on the door a couple times, and the door opens, just swings open. And and he just walks in.
Question.
Okay.
Is everything still in black and white?
Yep. There's no color, incling Horace. He has no color.
Is this like a known thing about Grimmsville, like that it's in monochrome?
Roll a history check. This is still D&D.
Oh, this is interesting.
Let's see.
I just want.
And suddenly Daniel lights up.
Yeah.
Am I also in black and white, or am I in color?
You're in color.
Okay.
Well, that's why I
Interesting.
can't see it. I was in edit mode. But history plus 0, so that's a 13.
With a 13, I feel like Grok, since you are a pirate, you've heard tales of Grimmsville and Captain Grinning Grimm. These ghost stories, you've heard a lot of ghost stories before. But Captain Grinning Grimm in his grim manner is a very well-known story. And as well as the fact that he established Grimmsville. Mm-hmm. Grok, you know that when Grinning Grimm threw his wife down a well and subsequently hanged himself in the portrait chamber.
Allegedly, as the story goes.
Allegedly, as the story goes, the color from Grimmsville drained.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So all of Grimmsville is just black and white.
Weird.
So there's no color in this except for you
Outsiders.
lot that have come. Yeah.
Okay.
So he walks right into this door. What are you guys doing?
Oh, Sammy's gonna go through.
I guess we follow.
I guess we're following.
I'm gonna be. I think that I'm already kind of like. I've let the ghost stories get to me a little bit at this point, so I'd like before I even walk in, I'd like to try to investigate a little bit, like on the way in, if I can.
What are you wanting to investigate?
I kind of want to investigate just the doorway and kind of into the first room as well. Like the fact that the doors open by themselves, I'm kind of intrigued by that, and then just I'm getting like an odd feeling in the pit of my stomach.
From like a technological standpoint.
Just a general like read the room kind of thing, more than anything else.
Gotcha.
I want to point out that while he's doing this, Sylvester's standing behind him, just waiting to go in because he doesn't want to like push past him. He's just patiently
Yeah,
waiting.
Trix would be waiting for him to go in as well, since he's kind of, sort of leading them, even the horses.
Okay. Augustus, you kind of stick your head in. Sammy, did you say you were just going to run in?
Yeah, Sammy walked in.
Sammy, you run in this door and you kind of are frozen. So in Augustus, when you walk in, you see the back of Sammy. There's a small foyer, and that opens up that opens up to a very large spherical chamber. All of you kind of walk into the center of this room, and Horace is gone. You can't find Horace anywhere. And
of course,
you notice that there are portraits on all the way around this room. But there's not really much in this room. The door again closes behind you and shuts, and it seems like there's no way out of this room that you can see.
Yeah. So just from that basic investigation, there's no doors. It's just a singular room.
Roll an investigation check for me, Augustus.
Okay. That is a 13.
With a 13, what's your plus on investigation?
6. It was a 7 plus 6.
Oh wow. Okay. So you
it doesn't seem like there's much to see.
Yeah, there's not really all that much to see. There's portraits on the walls. And it's not really a spherical room. It's kind of octagonal, I guess, but it's in that shape. And with a 13, Augustus is looking around trying to find some kind of way out, and then directly across from where you came in, the wall just kind of pushes open, and Horace is standing there, and he said, "Are y'all gonna come this way? What y'all doing?"
Yeah. I'll keep walking.
I don't like this place.
You lot follow him into these hallways, and the hallways are lined with portraits, and you make your way around down this hallway to the right, around into a large library. Horace says,
You all just wait right here, and I'll be right back, okay? You guys don't touch nothing, don't do nothing. I'll be right back. I go get my Connie, okay?
How did you meet Constance?
Me? You talking to me?
No, not you. I was talking to Augustus.
Okay, I go get Connie. Okay, I'll be back.
I would kind of like to know how you met her, though.
we can all kind of sit down in here or something? Yeah. So I sit down and I kind of motion to the others to like sit down and kind of just, I guess, take it easy, because I can tell that everybody's kind of tense, and I'm trying to like get everybody kind of ease of mind, I guess. So I motion for them to sit down.
Sylvester scoots closer.
Okay.
Okay. So Horace,
Grak is gonna sit in a way where like his back is to like a wall and he can see as much of the room as possible.
Sammy's gonna keep standing.
Horace turns and he walks further northeast, kind of down that same hallway that you guys were just in. Turns right, and you can hear the sound of him going up a staircase, which is leaving the 5 of you in this room. I will say that you can explore, you can look around, whatever part of this room that you want to.
Okay, so just real quick, I'll tell them. I'll kind of explain, since Sammy asked me this question, and then because I'd like to look around as well. So I just kind of study the 4 in the room, and I say, you see, after I graduated from university, I began traveling and fixing things all over different towns and cities, and well, you know, I can't even quite remember what town it was in where I was holed up fixing wagons, various pocket watches, things of that sort, you know, and I'm sure you know, like my father, he's quite the tinkerer himself, and so I decided to take that show on the road with me, as you will, and I can't even remember what town it was in, but Connie, you see, she came to my wagon and she asked for my help, and you know, now that I think about it, I can't quite remember what she wanted me to fix. All I remember is her eyes and almost feeling hypnotized by her presence, and I don't know, I was enamored by her almost immediately, and we began courting almost immediately. It seemed like the whole relationship was expedited, and the next thing I knew, I had to ask her to marry me, and here we are. It all seems, I kind of start rubbing my head. It all seems like such a blur.
And at that moment, you hear footsteps coming down the stairway. And turning the corner, walking into the library, you hear a voice say,
Okay, Connie, she gonna be down in just 1 second. But let me. You all don't touch nothing, okay? There for some fragile things in this room. Don't touch nothing, okay? Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. And he turns around to walk back down this hallway. And he bumps into a table that has a glass vase on it, and it falls and hits the ground and shatters. And when it hits the ground and shatters, the 4 of you, Grak, Sammy, Sylvester, and Tricks, it feels like a sharp pain in the back of your eyes.
Oh, God.
And
Okay.
all of you at the same time kind of grab your head, and you hear the same thing at the same time. Just the 4 of you. Augustus doesn't hear this, but the 4 of you hear.
Entry log. Number 7. Still no progress.
And your headache instantly vanishes, and you're still in that same room. And Horace looks at you and says,
that wasn't me. That was the rock man.
And he turns around and runs down the hallway.
He's probably right.
The rock man.
That's probably me.
Sylvester. You mean Sylvester?
Right.
So you 4 still have a little bit of time.
Augustus, so has Miss Constance always lived here?
As far as I know, I don't really know. It's almost as if Augustus has never been asked any questions about Constance up until this point, and he's kind of starting to realize, based on what the the four of you are asking him that he really doesn't know anything about her. And it's kind of starting to freak him out a little bit.
Yeah. So you hear another set of footsteps coming down these stairs.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Real quick, I want to say that after hearing another voice in her head, Trix has pulled out Marion and is just kind of looking at it really questioningly.
Okay.
He's in here too now?
Okay. I will say this, the professor's voice wasn't necessarily like he was talking to you. It wasn't like he was saying anything to you, but it was, it felt more like a memory.
Gotcha.
It wasn't necessarily this. It wouldn't be the same feeling as Marion communicating to you telepathically through the bow.
Okay.
You hear footsteps coming down the stairs, and
Very interesting.
Augustus, you feel yourself stand up without even thinking about it. Your body just stands up, and walking around this corner, you see Constance. 5'7", very pale skin, blonde hair, and she says, "Oh, hello. I wasn't expecting Augustus. Who are all these people?"
I kind of like rush to her like immediately and kind of grab her hand.
Okay.
Oh, Constance, it's so good to see you. It feels like it's been years since I've seen you. These are my friends. This is Mr. Grak and Mr. Sylvester and Miss Sammy. And I never introduced myself to this adorable puppy, but anyway, these are some friends that I found along the journey here, and I just I thought that maybe we could give them some free room and board for the evening. Maybe even feed them, give them somewhere to rest tonight. They seemed quite out of it when I found them.
Of course, yeah.
I'm like, I feel like I'm visibly like not how I've been leading up to this moment.
Yeah,
like my posture's almost completely changed.
Yeah, more timid, more obedient. Yeah. And she says. She says, "Of course we can. It's nice to meet you all. Are you guys hungry? Or is there anything I can get for you? Or
Grak is kind of losing his appetite at the moment.
Okay.
Not super hungry. He's like,
I genuinely have forgotten when the last time the party ate was.
Yeah,
I still have no idea if Sylvester even eats, or if that's like necessary for him to be alive. So I'm just kind of eat for funsies whenever it's important.
So she offers. She says, "Well, I insist. You all come with me. I'll get the kitchen staff to make you some food. It's not a problem. I promise." And she turns around and starts walking down this same hallway. So the five of you follow her. A short ways into this hallway and to the left and through a room that has a billiard table, has a card table in the middle, and she says, "This is the parlor. When my family used to live here, they've been gone a while. When they used to live here, we used to play games in here, but it's nothing." And then she continues to walk through the parlor out the other side. She takes a left down the hallway, and then on the right is a kitchen, and she walks into the kitchen. The five of you, follow her through the parlor, down the hallway, and when you look into the kitchen, she's the only one standing in the kitchen, and she's seemingly talking to herself, asking no one in the room to prepare a meal. And she's just talking.
Does that kind of snap me back into reality, or am I still kind of? Yeah, I'll let you decide on that.
Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Do what?
Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
That is an 18.
18. Okay, so when you look into this kitchen, and you see Constance talking, you kind of shake your head and you look around, and the door that the four of you are still in the hallway, the door slams shut, and instantly reopens, and there's about 5 chefs in this room. And she's talking to them. And in the back of all of you, in the back of your head, you're wondering if were they really there, or were you just imagining that she was talking to herself? That's how quick that this happened. The door just boom and reopens, and there's 5 chefs standing there. And Constance is talking to them, and they say, "Oh, right away, Miss Constance." And they start preparing meals. And she says, the chefs are working on food right now, but if you all wouldn't mind accompanying me into the grand hall. And she continues through the kitchen.
How do they do that?
Do what?
They weren't there and then they were. How does that work? They magicians?
Who
looks at everybody
there?
else.
Am I crazy?
Rock is like shaking his head, like, no, you're not crazy.
No, you're not crazy.
And she kind of just looks at you confused, and then she keeps walking out there's 2 doors in the kitchen. She walks out the other door and into a larger room.
Grok is still shaking his head like, nope, this is a bad idea. Don't like this. This is real bad. We got to get out of here.
Can I, as we enter into the grand hall, can I investigate again?
Sure. What are you investigating?
Because just the whole atmosphere, I'm not sure exactly what that would mean. Or I don't know if it would be investigation or insight.
I believe what you're looking for is called a vibe check.
Yeah, like I need a vibe. Yeah,
all right, roll vibe.
What Noah said. I need a solid vibe check on this one.
Let's do. Yeah, give me a insight check. See if you have any insight in this.
That's a 20 plus 6. So I guess just.
Was it a nat 20?
Nat 20. Yeah.
Okay, you don't need to add anything to a nat 20. That's
right.
Win.
Right.
So you feel like Constance is being genuine. There's nothing that she is falsifying in anything that she has said so far, but there's something that you don't know about this place. That there's something more about this manor than meets the eye. But Constance is she's not at all trying to deceive you in any way. She's not trying to deceive anyone in any way.
Is she a human? Like, can we see that from looking at her?
You can see that she's a human.
How pale is her skin? Is it like?
Can we see through her?
No, you can't see through her. She's just fair-skinned.
I feel like at this point, Augustus has kind of completely snapped back to reality from whatever, in like that entrancement feeling that he had before. And yeah, he gets like a strong vibe check that something's going on in the grand hall. Okay.
So Constance has already walked in the grand hall.
I like calling it a vibe check, by the way.
So can we like go and tour the house?
Can we leave? Can we get out of here? Get back in the carriage and go back to Georgetown?
You can try.
I guess maybe Augustus is going to go back up to Constance and say, do you mind if me and my friends explore the manor? I mean, there's a lot of, it's huge, right? Do you mind if we kind of just walk around a bit before the supper tonight is ready? I'm sure that it'll take the chefs a while.
Sure, you can go right ahead. I mean, do you need a tour guide? Do you need somebody to kind of show you around?
I think,
like you said, it's a
Augustus
big manor.
I think with that, he's feeling weird. Even, I don't know what. I guess she's saying this to the group at this point, or she's within earshot of the group. What do y'all want to do as far as having a tour guide, or going on kind of our own, or splitting up?
Just going on our own.
Splitting up sounds like the worst idea. Let's not do that.
Come on, that's what they do in Scooby Doo.
Yeah. That sounds like a rut-row moment right there.
I'm gonna go ahead and turn to her and say, "Oh, a tour guide won't be necessary. Trust me. I'm sure we can find our way back to the grand hall."
Oh, I'm sure.
And yeah,
let me just retroactively, because I was going to do this once you told me that you were going into the grand hall, because you guys were still in the kitchen. Let me just retroactively give you picture of what the Grand Hall looks like.
Fair.
Okay.
So, and we can
I
just,
thought we were already in the Grand Hall.
no, you guys were still in the
That's
kitchen.
my
She
bad.
walked in, you guys are still in the kitchen. You walk through this kitchen door, and this room is expansive. Expansive. On the left wall, there's
Also
a large
expensive.
grand piano. Yes, and expensive. There's a large grand piano. Kind of on the right side of the room, there's a large table that is set for 15 people with chairs surrounding it. There's a stage back behind on the other side of the table, and then a large open dance floor that is just empty. The walls in this room go about 20 feet, and if you were to walk in and turn backwards and look up, you could see the balcony of the second floor. And then we'll say at that point is when Augustus walks over and talks to her.
Okay.
And she says, "Yeah, you guys, okay? If you want, you want me to just stay here, or I can? I mean, if that's what you want, no. If that's what you want, that's fine. I can." You guys can go explore.
Let me ask a question like to Johnny, not to Constance. Am I Augustus at this point? Like, am I kind of what are my feelings towards Constance at this point?
Because of the wisdom, or was it a wisdom check or an insight that you rolled a nat 20 on?
Insight.
Insight.
Okay.
It was insight.
The insight check.
It's vibe check.
Yeah, the vibe check. When you rolled that and you felt that Constance wasn't trying to deceive you in any way, you kind of felt more at ease with her. So like the strange vibe isn't coming from her. It's coming from the manor itself. So there's no vibes coming from her. Okay. She's being genuine.
Yeah, so I answer her and say, I mean, you can come along, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
That's my response to her.
So she says,
I think I want to try to kind of walk out of the grand hall back into that hallway, the other door that we didn't come through.
Okay.
I'm just gonna, I think Augustus is just gonna start kind of like legitimately just kind of looking around in the hallway at portraits and stuff, and kind of start walking back towards I think he's gonna walk up those stairs, maybe right in front of the grand hall door.
Okay.
I think he's gonna like start walking up those stairs. As I'm walking out into the hallway and then towards the stairs, can you just kind of like explain the surroundings as far as like, is this manor like, is it kept up with, or is it dilapidated? What, like, is it dark? Is it, you know, like what's the ambience of the house itself?
So you walk out of the Grand Hall, and the Grand Hall is very well lit, very upkept. There might be some cobwebs up closer to the ceiling because those are harder to get to, but it's pretty kept up with. It's really nice. There's, you know, not dilapidated at all. Just it's just nice. It's just a very impressive scale, and
so there's
very
nothing.
clean.
There's nothing about this, like there's nothing about this mansion besides the general like vibe that would indicate that there's anything wrong with this manor besides it just being a really nice mansion.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So
there's nothing visually that is unsettling.
It's just kind of a gut thing that's kind of wigging us all out.
Yeah.
Spiritually.
And the pit of your stomach feels very strange.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna go up the stairs across the way from the grand hall door.
Okay.
I don't. Again, I know that Daniel said that he would prefer for everyone to stick together. I don't know if they're following behind or if you guys want to do your own thing, but I think that's what Augustus is just going to do, just to try to kind of explore a little bit. I think by nature he's just pretty, you know, inquisitive, and he just kind of wants to explore a little bit.
Okay. You guys tell me. Are you going with him?
Grok's gonna follow them.
Yeah, he's the only one that has any kind of connection to any of this, so he does not want to be stranded.
Sammy's always up for an adventure.
As they're walking, Grok wants to ask Lady Constance. He's going to be like,
So, I'm sorry if this might sound a bit insensitive, but,
Oh, no.
what,
Go ahead.
you mentioned your family used to be here. What,
Yeah.
what happened to them?
Well, my parents, they bought this manor. It was kind of broken down, and we lived here for some time. And my parents, they traveled a lot, and one day they left, and they never came back. So I'm still holding out hope that they'll be back eventually. So we just.
Oh, so they're not dead.
I'm not. Not as far as I know. At least I hope not.
Nice.
So you guys are in this hallway, and she says, "Oh, so there's a bathroom on the right. On the left is my grandfather's room. The next door on the right is just an old closet, has some coats and stuff in it." And she kind of turns left, and she says, "I don't really go into that room much." And the door that's directly, it's kind of a smaller door at the top of the stairs. If you were to turn over your left shoulder, there's a very thin door that's locked. And she says, that door's been locked for a while. I'm not entirely sure what's in there. Every door connecting to there is also locked, but here, follow me. And she keeps walking around, kind of giving you the tour of this entire.
As she's giving us the tour, I kind of keep looking back at the door like I really want to know what's in there.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Like as we're walking away from it, I keep like looking over my shoulder behind me. Because the fact that like she's lived here for so long and she's never really gone in that room is kind of like intriguing to me. So I think I personally really want to know, like what the deal is with that room.
Tell us about your grandfather.
My grandfather. Oh, well, he wasn't actually kind of my grandfather. He was kind of a family friend, but he was the closest thing to a grandfather that my family had. His name was McKim, and he. It's been a while since he left, and she kind of just looks confused, and she's looking at the ground like she's trying to remember where he went when he left. And she says, it's been years since he left, but my mother had a tendency for giving away rooms and then not renting them out, not letting other people stay here. Is a rich person thing. I don't get it, but that's just how it's always been.
I see.
And Grok is kind of seeing this pattern of like memory loss, and he's thinking back to Neris and the fish.
Yeah.
And so he's like half expecting a siren to just pop out of the wall at some point. And so he's kind of like got a grip on like his scimitars, just like looking around real carefully.
Okay.
Just like side-eyeing everything.
So you guys turn left down this hallway, and you keep walking as she's talking about grandfather McKim, and she walks past. There's another door on the right that she just kind of ignores as she's walking past, and you guys following her. Right when you get past this door, the door actually swings open.
Grok draws his scimitar real quick.
It's an older woman with black curling hair going kind of slicked back, going down the back of her head with thin white strands. And she says, this is Madame Leota. Madame Leota, this is Grok, Sylvester, Tricks, Sammy, and my fiance Agustus. And Madame Leota looks at all of you. And who's in the front of the pack?
I would assume
Agustus.
that because I walked up the stairs first, maybe me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Followed by
Agustus,
Sammy
give me an investigation roll.
Oh, 6. It's a 12.
Okay.
6 plus 6.
Okay. It's kind of difficult to see, but you do notice that there is a faint stitching going all the way across her neck. going. From what you can see, it goes as far back as you can see, and it goes around her neck. Okay. And she says, "Constance, you know how I feel about people coming into this mansion." And Constance says, "Madam Leota, this is not your house. How many times do I have to remind you? It's okay if we have people over." And Leota kind of side eyes all of you, and she says, I suppose.
Grok side eyes her back.
Hi.
I reach out my hand to shake Madame Leota's hand and introduce myself and say, "Hello, I'm Dr. Richman. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Leota. I couldn't help but notice that you had a large scar across your thyroid. Did you have thyroid issues or something of the sort? I would love to know the story behind that amazing scar. I'm kind
you
of like...
talk too much. Has anyone ever told you that you talk too much?
Yes, I've heard that quite a few times, but he's assuming that it's something related to a medical. So he kind of puts his foot in his mouth trying to introduce himself.
So she looks at your hand and looks back up at you, and she kind of reaches out her hand to shake yours, and you notice that her fingernails are extremely long. So long that they are curling on the ends, and she very slowly wraps her hand around yours. Doesn't even shake it, just wraps her hand around yours, and then lets go. And she says, "Well, I suppose it was nice to meet you all." Constance turns the other way, and she continues down. She points farther down on the left, and she says, "That's the bathroom. Down this hallway is Colonel Coat and Ambassador Xavier's rooms. My room is on the other side of this bathroom." So she walks around the corner of the bathroom where the edge of the bathroom, there's another hallway that goes down to the left. She walks to the left down that hallway, and there's a railing, and you look over this railing, and you can see the ballroom. The ballroom is open to the second floor. The second floor is open to the ballroom, and she says, "It's a pretty nice view. You should have seen it back when we used to have parties. Hasn't happened in a while, but it was something." And she walks to the end of this balcony on the left side and turns to the left again and says, "Well, that's the attic, but that door is also locked, and I don't think anyone has a key to that door, now that I think about it. But anyway, no one ever goes up there." And she says, "Well, that's pretty much the whole manor. I mean, there's some viewing rooms, some sitting rooms and lounges on the first floor, but that's pretty much it." Over the balcony, you hear a door, kind of a kitchen bell ring. And she says, "Oh, that means dinner's ready. We shouldn't keep the chefs waiting." And she turns and runs down the hallway, leaving the five of you.
Wait, she ran back down the hallway, like
runs?
Past
back
the bathroom?
Down, past the bathroom, to the right, and down toward the, well, you guys are way out of eye shot, but she didn't go down the same staircase that you came up.
I'm going to kind of start, I'm drawn to the opposite door down the hallway, where the bathroom was and the entrance to Constance's room, that hallway. Mm-hmm. I noticed that there's a closed door at the end of that hallway as well, and I'm going to walk towards that door and kind of reach for the handle to open it.
Okay. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
That's an 18 plus 3, 21.
So you turn down this hallway past Constance's bedroom, walking toward this closed door, and you can kind of feel your body. Your body physically is trying to stop you from moving forward, but it's not quite enough to stop you. The feeling that you have in the pit of your stomach, like you almost feel sick as you're walking toward this door, but it doesn't slow you down at all. You walk over to the door and you try the door handle, and it is locked.
Did y'all follow me, or am I on my own right now?
Sylvester
Sammy
followed
followed
for
you.
sure.
Okay.
Rock might have wanted to go try the attic door, just out of curiosity.
Okay. So Grok, you split from the rest of the group as they go down.
Trix would have gone with them.
Grok and Trix kind of go left toward the attic, and Grok, you're leading this charge, if you will, over to the attic door, and it's a probably 3x5 door, so it's a very thin door, and you try the door handle, and it is locked.
So that satisfies his curiosity enough for now. So he's going to turn around and say,
All right, well, we should probably go back up with the others. I don't want to be separated from them for too long.
He's going to try and go find them again.
Okay.
I'm going to turn to Sammy and Sylvester and say, do either of you have any experience with lockpicking?
Kind of.
And then Sylvester punches the lock.
Okay, Sylvester and Sammy, you two are not near the door. You stopped between the bathroom and Lady Constance's room. If you want to move toward the door, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, okay.
I'll leave that up to you.
Both of us?
If you are moving toward the door, give me a wisdom saving throw.
I am 100% moving forward.
Yeah, so I turn towards them and see them halfway down the hall and kind of call out to them and ask them that question then.
Okay. So Sylvester starts to move toward the door. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
That's a 9.
A 9, okay. Sammy?
I rolled a 5. 10.
10, okay. So both of you start to walk toward this door, and right when you get past the doors of Constance's bedroom, when you're walking toward this door, Constance is on your right and the bathroom door is on your left. Right when you start walking toward this door, Sylvester, you feel your body tensing up as you are walking, and without you controlling it, you start to walk backwards toward the door of the bathroom, and you feel like you can't move toward it, but your body won't let you.
Well, the only thing I'm good at picking at is my battles, and this is not one of them.
Sammy, you take a few steps toward the door, and you start to feel a churning in your stomach, and almost instantly you turn over your left shoulder and puke.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Have Grok and Trix made their way back to the entrance of the hallway at this point, or are they have they made it back yet?
I would say probably, yeah. They're
kind of turning around the corner to the same hallway you guys are in now.
Yeah, kind of turning around the corner around the outside of Constance's bedroom.
Okay, I'm going to ask them the same question. Mr. Grok, Miss Trix, do either of you have any talent in lockpicking?
Lockpicking's not one of my particular talents, no.
I'm going to turn back towards the door, and I'm going to try to use... So when I mentioned before, I do have a gauntlet on my arm that kind of has, it's kind of just like almost like a Swiss Army knife of sorts, but it's kind of on my arm. It's a little bit more tech and, it's got like a flashlight on it and stuff like that, which when we were creating this character, just so everybody else knows, this was kind of part of my weapons gallery of sorts, was the gauntlet on my arm.
Basically, Augustus's class, his race is human. His class is actually a combination of a wizard and a necromancer.
Oh.
So the wizard
by
by
way of science more so than magic.
By way of science, not a magic wizard. So we kind of adapted some of the what?
He's a techromancer.
Yeah. Techromancer.
I said necromancer.
Oh, you said necromancer. I'm sorry. That's much better.
I did.
That's much better. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So
that's what his character is adapted after. So yes, go ahead.
All I have within this, unfortunately, is an ink pen. So I'm going to try to pick the lock with this ink pen that I have. Because I have like a flashlight and stuff, but I don't have like a screwdriver or anything. So I'm going to try to MacGyver this whole thing, because I'm not going to try to be a Mary Sue and like just have a screwdriver, because I know I don't. The only thing that I have on this gauntlet that is of any potential use would be to take apart an ink pen and try to use it to pick this lock. I'm just going to go for it because I really want to get inside this room.
Grak's just going to, while you're doing that, he's going to ask, like,
Are you sure this is a good idea?
Mr. Grak, if I've discovered anything in the last 30 minutes of being in this house, is I'm unsure of everything.
You know what?
And
That's fair.
I'm just gonna turn back and start like piddling with this pen and trying to take it apart.
Okay.
I know this is kind of like not normal, but I don't really know what else to do.
No, yeah, it's fine. I just gotta figure out what this would be.
Ideas.
So yeah, give me a sleight of hand check with disadvantage.
So one is a 19 and one is a 7.
Total?
All right, so 7 it is.
Bummer.
Woof. So
Shouldn't have said anything.
I know, one is a 19 and one is another 19.
So you stick this pen into this door, and in the lock, a green a very, very faint green light kind of shines through the lock right when you stick the pen into it and start to try to pick this lock, and the green light kind of flashes, and then your pen just snaps in half.
Okay.
And ink kind of slowly pours down the bottom of the door.
Okay.
Well, we're just leaving a right mess in this hallway, aren't we?
And you hear from downstairs Constance say, are you guys gonna come eat dinner?
We'll be right down in just a moment. We're getting a little lost up here, but we'll be right back down.
I guess we'll have to make our way back towards the Grand Hall. Kind of defeated, but against my better judgment, I just kind of start making my way back towards the Grand Hall.
As they're heading back towards that staircase, I guess he's just following them. Grak's gonna want to like peek into Lady Constance's room. I guess, did she say that was her room? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, he's gonna try and like just open the door and like take a peek in there on their way back.
Okay. So you turn the door handle, it opens freely. You open this door, and again, for just half a second, this room looks decrepit and decayed with cobwebs strewn about.
That's interesting.
Furniture smashed, but you only see it for half a second before the lights flicker, and it's perfectly pink. The ground, the carpet is pink. There's rugs. There's a mirror. Everything that you had just seen goes back to as if it had never happened, as if it were normal.
Grak just kind of stares into the room for a second, blinks, and is like, all right. And he just kind of closes the door. It's going to follow the group down the stairs.
The 5 of you make your way all the way around. Augustus is a little bit in front of the whole group. As you pass the other locked door, you go to the left of it, down the stairwell, into the hallway on the first floor, and back into the grand hall. And the table is set for 12 people. There's placemats, silverware, plates, glasses, and it's set for 12 people. Constance is sitting on the left side as you walk in at the head of the table. What are you guys gonna do?
I'm just
gonna
gonna
do a perception check on the table. I'm sorry, never mind. I'm not gonna do that. I take that back. Whatever David said.
Okay.
No, I'm just personally just going to go kind of walk towards the table to sit down. And then I was going to do same as Noah. A perception check.
Definitely investigating any food before we eat it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was going to, I think I'm going to walk towards the table and have a seat like to Constance's right, like the first seat to her right.
Okay.
And I'm going to just pull the chair out and sit down.
Grak will sit down next to him.
Okay.
Tricks will sit next to Grak.
Yeah, Sylvester's sitting on the other side of Tricks and just...
So we're all sitting facing like the fireplace.
Okay.
We're all sitting on one side of the table.
the mantle.
On second
You know
thought,
what? That's a good point. Sylvester's
so we can see into the grand hall. So there's nothing can sneak up behind us.
Yeah.
You all sit down next to each other in this room, and Constance says, "Oh, there you are. The food might be getting cold," and she reaches down and it's place the place setting is very nice. There's chicken. There's a bunch of different. There's like puddings. There's cakes. There's treats. There's all this different stuff sprawled across this table. And she says, "Oh, please, whatever you want."
How many people are in the room?
Is it just us?
It's just the 6 of you, Constance
But it's
included.
set for 12 people.
It is.
Where's everybody else?
In their rooms, I suppose.
Good enough for Sylvester. He sits down.
She kind of turns around, and on the mantle behind, on her left, is a small clock, and it shows that it is 9 o'clock.
Wow, that time really passed. It was 4 when we were walking in, right? Or around 4.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been 5 hours, but to us, and correct me if I'm wrong, does it feel like it's been 5 hours, or does it feel like it?
Not quite. It maybe feels. I mean, you did tour this entire house, which would have taken a while, but it's felt like it's been about an hour that you've been in this mansion.
Does anybody want to investigate?
I'll investigate.
I think all of us. I think all of us want to investigate.
Okay. So you sit at the table. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go one by one, and I want you to tell me exactly what you are investigating. So let's start with Grok. Grok, what are you investigating?
Grok is investigating the food in front of him. He's got his fork, and he's kind of like poking at it, sniffing it, making sure it's not like it doesn't smell of poison. Like he
all right,
just wants to make sure there's nothing weird going on here. What am I rolling?
Investigation.
Okay.
There's gonna be hey guys, there's gonna be a lot of investigation rolls.
21.
Oh.
21. Yeah, you're poking around all the food, and none of it seems to be poisoned. There doesn't seem to be anything amiss about this food.
Is it real?
Normal food. Not poisoned. There's no magic on this as far as you can tell. I mean, you did roll a 21, so there's no magic on this.
He's gonna
is
take
it real?
a little nibble.
Okay.
Is it?
It tastes like food.
Okay.
Interesting.
He's gonna eat a little bit.
Okay. So you take a bite of this.
What
food.
is it? What's the food? What are we eating? What's the menu?
You tell me.
Chef?
There's. It's just a slew of things.
Rotisserie
there's
chicken.
Cakes, chicken. There's turkey. There's an entire pig on this table.
Oh, dope.
It's a whole slew of things going across this entire table, so it can be whatever you want it to be. But it is definitely not poisoned or magic in any way.
He doesn't have much of an appetite, but he's gonna kind of just eat as much as he feels like he needs to in order to appease their host, so that it doesn't seem weird.
Okay. Sylvester, what are you investigating?
I have a 2-parter actually.
Okay.
Number 1, I'd like to know if there's any gray stuff, and number 2, I want to know if it looks delicious.
Okay, go ahead and roll investigation for me.
Roll for gray stuff.
Sylvester.
There is gray stuff, and it does look delicious. Don't believe me? Ask the dishes. Sammy, what are you investigating?
Oh, well, I'm...
Oh, you actually want to investigate something?
I was. That's what I was...
All right, go ahead.
Sorry, I know it's unusual for me to say something actually useful, but I'm going to try it out. Just humor me.
What are you investigating?
I actually don't know, but I want to look up at the ceiling.
Okay.
What do I see?
It goes up about 30 feet, and then it's kind of slanted since you're facing the wall that you're facing. It's kind of slanting up backwards towards you.
Is there a chandelier above us of any kind, or any kind of hanging fixture?
That's a good question. Hold on. No, there's no chandelier. There is a furnace on the right wall. Not really a furnace, a fireplace, a large fireplace on the right wall, kind of behind you on the right next to the kitchen. But there's no chandelier.
All right, Sylvester shovels food in his mouth without a second thought.
Okay. Wait, did you roll investigation?
No, I was going to.
Roll me an investigation check.
Okay. 3.
A 3. Okay.
Are you about to like untell me everything you just told me?
No, I was gonna add something to what I had told you, but I wanted you to roll for it.
Great.
So,
Oh, look, that's a nat 20. I was wrong.
you can't, even if you did roll again and it wasn't that 20. Yeah, there's doesn't seem to be anything amiss about the ceiling here. Sammy,
Oh my gosh.
you want to investigate anything?
I want to investigate, but I just don't know what. Can I just do like I don't know, just an investigation on the room? Or is that what Sylvester did?
That's what everybody's doing. Just kind of pick a. You can do the same thing. You can look up. You can maybe see Sylvester looking up and also look up and investigate the ceiling. Maybe catch what he missed.
Oh, okay, sure.
Okay.
Roll.
So roll me an investigation check. Yep.
A 16.
16. Yeah, with the 16, as you're looking up, you kind of turn towards Sylvester and you see that he's staring at the ceiling, and you kind of follow his eye line up to the ceiling, and you again for a split second, and it almost just looks like when you blink, it changes, but you look up to the ceiling and there is, in fact, a chandelier hanging from the ceiling. A large chandelier hanging from the ceiling. Not on, but you blink and it just disappears.
Okay.
Sylvester, you didn't even see it.
Yeah, I know, but Noah is terrified.
All right, Trix, are you going to investigate anything?
So here's the thing is that Trix hasn't been seeing the things that everybody else has, because like they've all been doing their own investigations and everything and seeing these things, and Trix really hasn't. So to her, like, everybody's just kind of like
acting really rude.
Yeah, they're acting a little quirky, but like nobody's dangerous,
Right, and
So she's
and
just
where
kind
we're
of
at,
like-
that we have no reason to feel like any way besides just pretty comfortable in this house.
Yeah, like
The only people
she's
that should
wondering
feel
why everybody
weird-
else is paranoid.
Okay.
So I mean, she's kind of like, when they came in, they were like, we're not going to eat anything here, but like she sees Grok and Sylvester eating, so she's just going to eat.
Cool.
Okay. So you don't want to investigate anything, or you just
Not really.
Yeah,
Trix is kind of just content.
Okay.
Okay.
Nope.
I'm gonna
Augustus?
say. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Johnny.
No, I was saying, what do you want to do?
I think everything looks normal, but I can't shake the feeling that something's a little bit off. So I don't know if I should roll for investigation as much as perception to try to spot or hear or detect the presence of something in the room.
So
maybe
give
roll
me-
for
give me,
perception.
yeah, roll for perception.
I hope it's good. It's not great. It's a 12.
Okay. With a 12, you faintly hear the sound of an organ being played. With a 12, I'll say that you turn over your left shoulder to look at this organ that's in the corner of this room, and you see one of the keys lift up. Just barely lift up.
Okay.
And then the music just stops. But you're the only one that hears this. Nobody else hears it. And with that, Constance says, well, I suppose I'm gonna go to sleep. Is anybody else feeling tired? And you look at the clock, and it is now 10 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
What?
Sylvester looks down at his wrist and remember he's not wearing a watch.
There's no way we've been eating for that long.
And Constance looks down and says, it's been an hour.
Has anything changed on the table as far as like when we look down, is the food still there, or has it been eaten, or is it any different than it was at 9
Roll
o'clock
me
now?
a perception check.
You're not going to believe me. That's a nat 20.
Okay.
Good grief.
You rip a turkey leg off of the turkey, and you take a bite of it, put it down on your plate. When you looked over at the piano and saw the key change, the key lift up slightly, you look back at your plate, and the turkey leg is back onto the turkey, as if you had never even taken a bite.
Or I'd never even ripped it off of the turkey to begin with.
You never even ripped it off the turkey.
And it's been an hour.
And it's been an hour. And Constance pushes her chair back and she says, well, I'm exhausted, so you guys, If you go out this door, and she gestures to the door on the right of the grand hall. If you go out this door, down the hall to the left, and then take a right, the first door on your right is the servants' quarters. We haven't had servants in a long time, so you guys feel free to sleep in there. And she walks over to Agustus and kisses him on the forehead and walks through the door on the right and up the stairs. And
so now it's just the 5 of us sitting at the table in the grand hall alone.
Yep.
I'm gonna turn to everyone at the table and just say, I can't explain it, but something just doesn't feel right here, and I just wanted to ask all of you how you were feeling. I have no reason to feel uneasy, but something about this house is it just feels like we're uneven here. Time seems to be escaping, and has
we
anyone
definitely
else seen
haven't been here 6 hours, no.
Has anyone else seen or noticed anything?
I keep seeing things that aren't really there.
Yeah, I peeked my head in Lady Constance's room earlier, and everything looked real old and worn down for like a split second, and then it was back to normal.
I mean, the bathroom did really look nice. That's all I remember.
I'm gonna explain to them my whole experience in the hallway trying to break into that room.
Okay.
From the way that I felt to seeing the green light through the keyhole. I'm going to explain all that to them. Obviously, it's pretty long-winded, but I try to do my best, I guess, to inform them.
We'll just say that you catch them up on all that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, yeah, no, I felt the same thing. That's why I had to turn around.
And the longer the 5 of you are pondering this and thinking, you start to notice that the lights in the room start to dim very, very slowly.
Oh my gosh.
Nope.
Sylvester looks back at the clock really quick.
Sylvester, you turn and look back at the clock, and the clock actually says 13.
Oh, no.
I think we should leave.
Hey,
I think we should get out of here.
In an instant.
At this
I think we need to
Can
make
we-
for the entrance and just leave.
Can we all maybe investigate again? Because I feel like things have changed drastically.
At this point, Sylvester, when you turn and see the clock say 13, you turn back to the table, and suddenly all the seats are filled.
Is Sylvester the only one that sees this?
At the moment right now, yeah. The lights are still fading, and Sylvester, you look up at the clock, look back down, and every seat is filled. And you try to kind of do the same thing that you've been doing and blink and see if this is just something that you're seeing or not, and it does not go away. And instantly a flash of lightning happens, and all the lights in the building go off. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Keys to the Kingdom Origins. It's been a lot of fun. This has been our Halloween episode. If you haven't guessed already, happy Halloween, everybody. Woo! Yeah?
I'm a Christian, so I'm not
Halloween!
Happy October,
Obviously,
Happy
there's going to be
Hallows Eve.
another part that continues in this vein.
Beware
What?
of hitchhiking ghosts.
Oh, that was great.
They will follow you home. So if you want to get more connected with us, you guys can follow us on Twitter at KTTKcast, as well as Instagram. And we are planning to start a YouTube channel where we're just going to put kind of the same things up, our episodes that we have released already, with just kind of a graphic in the background for those people that are on YouTube and might not listen to podcasts. They might be interested in that. We're going to try it out and see how it goes. Keep an eye out for that. It's going to be pretty cool, I think. We'll see how it goes. We also have a Discord. The link to the Discord is going to be down below. There's a lot of things on this Discord, a lot of different good conversations that can be had, as well as Sylvester's diary is in there.
Unfortunately.
You can come and ask us questions. There's an entire channel for asking us questions. All the maps that we use are in there. Like I said earlier in the episode, if you want the map to Grimm Manor, if you want the maps to the Grimm Manor, that's all in our Discord. So if you guys want to do that, be a part of that. Let's see, what else do we have? We have character sheets. I just added a new channel called NPC Visual Concepts, which I have been making all of the NPCs in Hero Forge, that's what it's called, and I just started posting them in there because I didn't know what to do with them, so I started posting them in that channel, so you have a kind of a visual aid if you're more of a visual person. There's maps, there's character sheets, there's all that kind of stuff. Good community. So if you want to be a part of this community, even more so, if you're just listening, we are so thankful for you listening. But if you want to be even more a part of this community, jump into that Discord. It's the easiest way to get in contact with us. Tell us if we're doing good, bad, horrible, great, whatever. We would love to hear from you guys. Leave a review on the podcast. Helps us get out there and get noticed by people. Also wanted to say thank you. A special shout out to David Smith Jr., my big brother.
Our guest.
Yeah.
Our guest on this episode, for
our
lending
guest.
his voice
He's
to
our guest.
Augustus. David, where can the people find you?
The people can find my podcast on YouTube as well as wherever podcasts are found. It's called Podzilla. It's a digital discourse in pop culture where we dive into anything from movies to TV shows to video games to you name it, pop culture referenced. We talk about it. I also, excuse me, let me say this too. You can simply find us by searching Podzilla on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram at The Podzilla Show. And please check us out. If you love anything about pop culture, from movies to video games to shows to comic books, we talk about it all. And yeah, I think that's all I want to plug this
You're
time.
also in a band.
I'm also in a band. Yes, I'm also in a band, and we have an EP out, and there hopefully sooner rather than later there will be more music being released, and you can find us on anywhere that you listen to digital music, whether that be Spotify or iTunes. All you have to do is search My Mansion, and the EP is called A Separation of Church and State of Mind, and you can follow us at My Mansion Music on Instagram as well. So
Nice.
Yeah. That's all I.
David
that's all I
also
wanna
does.
plug.
David also does all the mixing and mastering for these episodes of Keys to the Kingdom. So we are very, very thankful for you.
I
did
also
our
do.
incredible
I'll plug
cover
that too. I also do all the mixing and
all the,
mastering for this podcast, as well as some of the original music that you hear under specific moments.
I think all of the original music, besides
the theme
song and Neris's song in the last episode.
All the other music that you hear, I composed in very quick turnaround time.
Yes, and it's absolutely incredible. So go give My Mansion a listen. Go check out Podzilla. It's incredible. Daniel also streams on Twitch. Daniel, where can the people find you on Twitch?
Just the Danliest on Twitch. That's me.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun playing Hollow Knight. Have you beaten Hollow Knight yet? No?
I have not. I might be getting close.
Hollow, not yet.
Thank you guys so much for listening. My name is Johnny. I am the DM, and joining me today is...
Hi, I'm Noah. I'm Sonic the Hedgehog.
I play Sylvester.
I'm Rachel, and I play Sammy.
Oh, I'm Daniel. I play Grak.
I'm Rebekah, and I play Tricks.
I'm David, and I am a guest character on the show, and I play Agustus.
Very nice. Thank you all so much for joining us, and have a magical day.
We're from worlds unknown. Our stories untold. Roll away the dice. We'll vanquish the darkness.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.